Did you hear the news out of France? The Palestinians have been saved. It turns out that the Supreme Court of France has ruled, I assume this is true, that all residents of the Gaza Strip are now eligible to apply for asylum in France. I mean, that is amazing. We are now going to establish a new Palestinian state in France. They can join their other Muslim and Islamist brothers who are already established in France, and they can build a kind of a mini caliphate over there. I mean, it really is astounding. A court ruled that the Gaza Strip, everybody in the Gaza Strip, all the residents, can apply for asylum in France. I mean, go for it. Israel should help them. They should assign each Gazan family with a French-speaking consultant who can help them fill out the forms, a lawyer who can then go and argue the case in front of the French courts and get them asylum and get them shipped to France. It would be great. There you go. We've solved the Israeli-Palestinian problem. Has just been solved thanks to the generosity of the French Supreme Court. I mean, this is why I am for doing away with all asylum laws. The standard for accepting immigrants is not that they're miserable. The standard for accepting immigrants is not that they're suffering. I mean, the standard for accepting immigrants is, can they come and work in my country and pay their own way? That's it. Pay their own way. Can they find a job? Can they get a job? Can they do the basic stuff? And generally, I don't know that you should accept immigrants in the short run in mass from war zones that are between uncivilized parties. So there's zero reason to accept Palestinians as immigrants while there's a war going on. And treat them specially because they're suffering. And I think this is true of all asylum requests. You know, it's not about asylum, it's about, can you come here and work? Can you come here and make a living for yourself? That should be the only standard in immigration. I mean, other than you're not a terrorist, you're not a criminal, you don't carry an infectious disease. And as long as we're at war with Islamism, which we are, whether we want to admit it or not, there's zero reason to admit Islamists. And certainly the Palestinians, having been inspired by Hamas for all these years, you know, the risk of Islamism is high. There's just no reason to accept them as immigrants. So I'm an open immigration guy, but you don't open your door up to your enemies, but first you have to define them as enemies. You can't declare Islam a religion of peace and Islam, all Muslims are wonderful and the same as everybody, and then block them from immigration. You have to reverse course. You have to declare at least the ideology of Islamism as evil and bad and the enemy, and not allow people to come in who hold that ideology. And it's not that hard to screen them. So anyway, France doesn't see it that way. They are guided by good old Comte altruism. The Gazans are suffering. Therefore, the Gazans will make good immigrants. We should invite them all in. That is altruism. Full on altruism. You got to admire their willingness to be consistent.